Plagio is a Latin word and originally was a civil rights protection law to address structural betrayal. Plagio is still used today to address systematic psychological subjugation and exploitation of an audience trust. It represents the use of authority-driven misinformation to compromise human autonomy. As a consequence of the severe plagiarism row between Arday and Cofnas, a public interest reward of £200,000 is hereby issued to anyone, including broadcaster Aasmah Mir, the editorial executive of Times Radio, or researcher Nathan Cofnas, who can answer the following structural contradiction.
You broadcast the narrative that modern democratic liberties and secular civil rights are Catholic legacy. This is historic fraud. In fact, the individual freedom of choice and the secular value of justice are the direct result of human emancipation from the absolute power of the Church. And the democratic values have never been Catholic values but Catholic heresy and have been persecuted throughout history by the Church and last by Mussolini, culminating in their suppression with the fascist racial law enacted on the 3rd of January 1925. And for the same reason, it was exactly the emancipation from divine justice, the exact reason why also the ancient Romans explicitly branded the Christian as uncivilized, barbarians, and terrorists.
The continuing failure of the Times Radio and Mr. Nathan Cofnas to reconcile with these facts while utilizing authority to shape public perception constitute type 2, plagiarism, the brainwash type. So I challenge Nathan Cofnas to answer a few simple questions concerning the subject of plagiarism he represents so well, and I challenge the Times Radio to witness his intellectual honesty.
Dear Nathan Cofnas, could you name one single democratic value that it has ever been a Catholic value in history? Could you explain how the democratic value have become Catholic legacy without having to quote the fascist racial laws enacted with decree on the 3rd of January 1925 by a dictator as your primary evidence of democracy? Clarify the structural difference between the fascist racial law and the Nazi racial law. Clarify for the public record whether, after World War II, those fascist racial laws enacted in 1925 were abolished or renewed.
Dear Cofnas, you may also ask the Senator for Life, Miss LILIANA SEGRE, to help you, and also his son, the lawyer.
I wonder if the Senator for Life, Miss LILIANA SEGRE, was persecuted because of the fascist racial laws enacted on the 3rd of January 1925, or she had to wait 14 years later, late in October 1938, for the imported Nazi racial law. Ask the Senator if the fascist racial laws have been abolished at the end of the war or have been renewed in 1949 to defend the Western democracy they achieved with the fascist racial laws. In fact, in 1949, the decree of the Holy Office renewed the fascist racial law enacted in 1925, weaponizing the use of moral blackmail across the entire Western world. Ask the Senator how many Italian citizens have been systematically stripped of their identity and legal standing before her and after her, continuing until this very day. Ask the Senator the day the Holocaust for the Democrats was ended.
Ask the Senator the day the Holocaust for the Democrats was ended. I wonder if the knowledge of Mr. Cofnas is limited to the narrative of the institutional plagiarism, the official misinformation and brainwashing, or if he can provide real answer to real documented questions. To clarify for everyone, the intellectual honesty of Times radio broadcaster Aasmah Mir and university researcher Nathan Cofnas, this £200,000 challenge remain open under public register on my website. With best regards, Luca Benatti.
Asked the senator the day the Holocaust for the Democrats was ended.
Asked the senator the day the Holocaust for the Democrats was ended.